Hey, welcome to my game room. Watch this video. I'm going to take you from start to finish. This is a 36A50 Toshiba. Not the best TV. When you get one that large, it has to be in really good shape. And I think this one's a little bit tired, but it's what I have and that's what I'm going to use. First console is a Wii. I paid for the Retro Fighter Blade controller here. I did say first console was Wii, but really my very first console was the Atari 2600. So I got me an Atari 2600 Junior off Whatnot for $30. The CX40 controller, great controller. Good job, Atari. It's the wireless version. They have colored Pac-Man colors now. What I have here, Analog 3D. I believe the second release, it went live for like 9 minutes. Well, I got one of them. That's probably the reason why I have black, because I probably wouldn't have chose black. If you remember, the people were saying, oh, all the colors came out right after the second release and everybody bought it and now they don't have choice of colors. Well, I have black. That's what I have. That's what I'm sticking with. The white controller. Secret Santa. We drew names. We wrote 3 things we'd like to have. My daughter bought me that. That's one of my prized possessions right there. I mean, I put 3 things on there and she bought them all. Bless her heart. Okay. PS2 component. It's going straight in to the second slot in the component. I have a whole video on how to hook these up to a CRT. I am happy with the HDMI to component converter. I believe it's pronounced, I can't say it, broccoli. I'll put it up on the screen. It's a variation of broccoli, according to Google. This has about 1 frame of rolling lag, according to Retro RGB. I love his channel, awesome channel. So it is a compromise, but if you were to hook this up to a average, I'm not talking $2,000 TV, 4K TV, you've got less lag on this TV. I also used Google AI to go in and actually set my service menu on this TV. The top was out of whack. I was amazed. I went through one at a time and researched. I learned a lot. Today, the PS2. On the controller for it, a Retro Fighter Defender. This was another $55. I actually think I got it on sale. All these boxes right there, I'm gonna see if I can actually stick them to the back of this, where I can reach back and easily access the switchers, because I've got 3 components. The PS2, the Wii, and the Analog 3D are all going through the component. I have nothing going to my composite yet, but I will. I got the 8-bit do 64 Bluetooth controller updated. That was a pain for a minute. I had the wrong updater. Anyway, not a big deal. When I sit here, this is what I see. Have my Sonic clock and my new poster. Looking cool. If you're wondering about the clouds, I painted those up there when the kids were little. Okay, so right here, wanted to show you something. I stickied this one to the top. I've got 1 front input, so if I need to quickly test a composite, I can do that. See if I can see. Lean it forward a little bit. Stuck on the back, kind of hidden. I can reach over and reach the switches. I don't have to get on the floor. And it kind of hides it. Looks good. Listen. The most calming soundtrack on this level of any video game in history. No, really though. Okay. The Retron 3. Now this is the HD. I may have made a mistake because when I run the HDMI out to the HDMI to component converter, the timing's not right. There's like a rolling, every once in a while you'll get this little screen tear looking thing that rolls down the CRT. So that converter that I recommended, the Brockery, I finally think I can say it, Brockery converter, it is great for 480p. Now 720p that this puts out HDMI, it's a little distracting, so I went ahead and hooked it up composite. It's not bad, but here's the mistake that I may have made. You can buy the AV version, which only has AV out, the Retron 3 AV. I seen it on Amazon for $66. Okay, this one's a little bit more expensive. The reason why is because upon a little bit further investigation, the composite out of the AV is supposed to be better quality. I may go ahead and buy one just for this setup, just for proof of concept. The AV version has a better composite. Now this is acceptable. It's not FPGA, but it's not like, take the Atari Plus, the 2600 Plus or the 7800 Plus. It dumps the ROM on there. Or take the Retron 5. That one, I've heard so many people have so many problems with that. Now, I don't have one, so I can't tell you my experience. But the Retron 5 dumps the ROM and then plays it as if you were playing an emulator. Okay, this is more like 3 systems on a chip. This does NES, Super NES, and there's a Sega Genesis in the middle there. This is the #1 central to my gaming setup in the past. One other thing, if you're running something like a clone system and you're worried about internal lag, now that's not the lag that the display has, it's the internal lag, and you want to cut down just a little bit, use a corded controller. Every one of these controllers that has Bluetooth, it's just a small, minute amount of lag added. But I mean, people play with it on flat screen TVs and don't complain. It's just, we're all about what's the best we can get with what we have. Okay, let's see how we're doing. The CRT plus the stand, $85. The Atari 2600 with wireless controller, $70. The Wii with Retro Fighter GameCube controller, $85. PS2 with the Fender controller, $135. The Retron 3, remember I'm putting the AV instead of the HD, $70. The converter and switches and the decor, that includes the poster and the clock, $60. Okay, the analog 3D, $323. And it might be a little bit more than that now. But remember, there's wiggle room because you can always go with wired controllers on any of these and get the price down. Where are we at? $828. You could go cheaper than this if you didn't go with the analog 3D. And I may pull that out later, but for now I want it in here, and I want a long-term usage review eventually on this setup. I need one more system to fill this in. Give me some suggestions in the comment. Like and subscribe because there will be a second follow-up video to this. This is fun. I want to keep doing this. I wanted to wrap this up. It's getting kind of long. This game right here, Sega Genesis. One thing that the reason why it's important to have a lot of different systems if you're going to be a collector is because when you go out into the wild or you're looking on eBay or wherever, you're not always going to find the game you're specifically looking for, but you are going to find something that'll fit. So if you find a deal, a $5 game, but you don't have that system, you might pass it up. So I mean, Wii, GameCube, PS1, PS2, N64, Sega Genesis, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Atari. The controller's there, and this is my little game shelf. My favorite game, probably my favorite game, in the top 10. Enjoy this game every time I play it. I thought it was kind of hokey when I found it. And this game is probably about a $50 game now or more. But you can find it for maybe $45 or $50 without a case and buy a reproduction case. This is an original. I paid $5 for that, believe it or not. So I'm adding that in there because that's one of my great finds. Let's go over my games real quick. This is what I went with. I didn't go with the Mario 64 game. I went with the PlayStation game. This was originally supposed to be a Yoshi game that they didn't go forward with. Nintendo didn't. That's the PlayStation. Okay, you're like, what? Okay, I've got a mix of budget games. This game right here, I believe, is a hidden gem. If you like golf games, this is a great golf game. You start out as a kid. You can be Tiger Woods as a kid, and as you go through and win tournaments, you grow up, and so your drive gets longer, and you've got all these special moves. It's not a normal golf game. But, okay. 6-pack. Self-explanatory. A lot of people talk about that. Great value. You can find it cheap enough. Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Columns, and Super Hang-On. Columns is my wife's game, so I had to have that in there. This one kind of came with the Atari. Yara's Revenge, one of the great Atari games. Okay. Tunnel Runner. Why did I go with Tunnel Runner? Well, there's a reason why. If you don't care that much about Atari games, you might not want to even get an Atari, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But if you're an Atari enthusiast, I love Atari. It's what I grew up on. This will probably never get re-released. It's kind of a backlog game for a lot of people, and I paid not very much for this, but I added it in to the budget. And this budget is flexible. Y'all know that. Okay, one of the fun things about making a new game room, I got the Analog 3D. I've never played this. I wanted to, so I did buy a few games that I wanted to play. Another game that I wanted to play, I never played. Star Fox Adventures. I haven't even popped this in. So this is kind of exciting for me, a mix of classic old ones that I love and ones that... San Francisco Rush. The Analog 3D makes this game so good in comparison to the frame rate of the original N64. All right. Classic. Donkey Kong Country. I think I play it for the water level. But had that when it came out. Another great, not too expensive game. Tiny Toon Adventures for NES. Great platformer. Great game. Jackal. Kind of a run and gun type game. Good game. I'm going to save this one for last. This Atari. Smash Brothers. This came with the Wii, but I like it. I did buy the case. It was stuck in the Wii. Whenever I turned it on, it was in it. So I bought the case for a couple bucks when I found it. This, your thrift store finds. That's not what I paid for it. I paid almost nothing for this. It's NASCAR Thunder 2003, but look inside. There was 2 games. The second game, right behind it, was NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005. Okay, there's a story behind this game. The reason why I was actually looking for that game, and it's funny that I found it in this case, is Ross Chastain. If you're not a NASCAR fan, or even if you are, and you've never seen what they call the wall ride, Ross Chastain, look up a YouTube video about Ross Chastain's wall ride. He mentioned after the race that him and his brother played that 2005 GameCube game. And that's where he learned that move. They call it the video game move. It's amazing. I love it. It was great. Okay. I went with the GameCube version. There's a PS2 version, but I enjoy this one. I think it might be a little bit clearer on the Wii. Possibly. It's kind of hard to tell. A lot of people talk about the move sets. It doesn't have a dedicated button, the same as the PS2 for one of the moves. But I mean, if you're serious about it, get them both. If you're that serious about it, or just get the PS2. I wanted to talk about the reason why I went with those two, or that Tunnel Runner. You're not going to find that Tunnel Runner re-released. And the Atari collections today do not have Activision games. This Activision Anthology PS2 is the hidden gem. This is the deal of all deals for all these games up here. Anybody can get this deal off eBay or whatever. The emulation's good, and you're not going to find it on any other modern collection unless they come out with another Activision collection. But it includes Hero. That's an expensive game, so the value of this game is amazing. Activision had some of the best Atari games. So if you get this and you're satisfied with this, you don't have to rebuy these games. You can just buy, you know, things like Tunnel Runner or a regular Atari game that you love. But if I have Hero for the 2600, I'm thinking about selling it. That's how good this version is. And it works great with the Retro Fighters. This right here works great. This joystick. And I usually play it with the D-pad. Hero with the D-pad. Amazing. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. Y'all have a good one. Core Play Retro. CPR out.